Hey guys, so today I will be interviewing Christopher Arida and I will be jumping into my webcam and my computer and I'm gonna be wearing this pilot headset. Okay, so I hope you're gonna like this interview. Okay, and as always, make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube. Hey everyone. So today I'll be interviewing Christopher Arida. And Chris, he's one of my college mates. He was he's a graduate in civil engineer, just like I am in civil engineering. And he started working in civil engineering in his domain for some time, but then he stopped his full-time job and then he went on to run his startup as an entrepreneur. So he decided to go that way. And the goal of this interview is to learn more about Chris, why he decided to run his own startup, what it is about. And we're also going to be talking about how he's maintaining or managing his situation with the corona lockdown. So if you stick till the end, we're going to learn more about this. So, hey, Chris.
Hello, Tara. How are you?
How are
you
you?
doing?
You're good?
I'm great. Yes.
Okay, so Chris, I have a notebook that I wrote some questions on for you. And
Awesome.
I recently learned that you've stopped working as a civil engineer. And now it is not necessary for anyone who has an idea to stop their 9 to 5 job, right? But you saw it as one thing that you wanted to do. And so you stopped and you started focusing full time on your startup. So can you tell us more about that? What's it about?
Yes, of course. My startup is called Reseco. It is concerned with everything related to recycling, with
Okay.
everything that's occurring in the world about solid waste, the solid waste crisis. The oceans are full of plastics, etc.
Okay.
I saw this as an opportunity, and I wanted to capitalize on that. My startup is mainly about recycling, not solid waste management in general, because I cannot focus on everything. I had to pick a specific niche to focus on.
Exactly.
I'm currently operating in Lebanon.
Okay.
Of course, I'm trying to find out solutions to scale up and scale outside.
Okay. So
So
you're in the first stage of the startup where you're pitching for investors and all this stuff, correct?
yes, exactly. I have done different business models in the past. I have been working on this for like a year and a half. Several business models have failed. I tried them, have failed. One business model, it succeeded, but it took me a long time. I decided to pivot and try something new. And right now, yes, I am pitching for different investors, and hopefully soon we can have a fund to scale.
Yeah, great. And that's one of the beauties of being your own boss, right? That you can pivot however way you like. Whenever you see something's not working, you can change direction. So that's great. Um,
Exactly.
uh, Tell us more about your journey so far. So, what changed your mind from working on a full-time job to going like all in on your dreams? So, what was that about?
Okay, honestly, I was working at a company, the perfect job position. I always
Okay.
wanted to work in that. It seemed like the perfect job. Months after months, it turned out to be a disaster. I didn't like it. I
Why?
thought I loved it,
Why
but
do you think the disaster?
I didn't like going to this job, waking up early for something that I wasn't excited about. Waiting extra hours after the 9 to 5. It was 8 to 5:30 for me.
Yeah,
It was even more than nine to five.
that's our situation as civil engineers, especially in Lebanon. If people
Yeah,
don't know about that, yeah.
yeah. So I just had an idea. This idea came to me like 3 years ago. It was a long time ago. I worked on it as a senior project in university.
Okay.
Then I forgot about it. I didn't have this mentality of an entrepreneur. I always thought that someone should go into this job, gain experience, and if you wanted at like an age of 40 to open your own business, you can.
Yeah.
I mentioned this idea in front of my manager at work. She seemed like she didn't listen. I was like, okay. 1 month later, she was like, Chris, you once told me about this idea, and I have been thinking about it ever since. I was like, did you hear me say that? She was like, yes, I didn't left my mind. And she told me that I should pursue that. She
Wow.
saw me as someone ambitious. She saw me that I can be more than an employee at this company. I didn't believe that yet. So what I did, I had a bad experience in my life at the time. I wanted to improve myself. I went on and bought my first book,
Yeah.
which was Think and Grow Rich
Yeah,
by
it's an
Napoleon
amazing
Hill.
book, by the way, by Napoleon Hill. Yes.
Yeah. So this was my first book ever bought. I didn't like reading, but I read it anyways. And this book has changed my mentality 180 degrees. And then I decided to pursue this.
You know, I can
Uh,
totally relate because this was one of the main books I had been reading and which like changed my outlook on life.
yeah. So as you said, working from 9 to 5 or at a company as an employee, you don't have to leave your job to start with it. So that's what I did. I didn't leave my job. I kept this safety net, if you want, of
Exactly.
my salary and
Exactly.
started to work on it. But
Because
yeah,
because people have now this mentality like it's a taboo to work 9 to 5. No, it's not a taboo to work 9 to 5. People have always been working 9 to 5, and you can also start your own like side business because working 9 to 5 provides you with what you said is a safety net. So if you don't have any other income stream, how can you like give life to the side hustle that you have or the other business that you're trying to work on now at first? But if you feel like you can stop working and you can go all in and you have the resources to handle it, then go for it. But it doesn't mean that working 9 to 5 is a taboo. Okay.
okay. Just like you said, I didn't leave my job. I started working on this business on the side. I used to leave my work at on the lunch breaks to have the business meetings with the experts in the field to just learn more about this. And then I realized I had to dedicate more time for this.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up with the full-time job as well as work on my startup. I had to schedule meetings during my work. They didn't allow me to go. So what I decided to do is I calculated my expenses per month, and I saved to have these expenses for 1 year, so I can handle them for 1 year. So I have
For
saved
one
an
year.
amount of money
So this
to
was your
cover my
safety net.
expenses.
Yeah.
Yes, to cover my expenses for 1 year. It's been like 7 months that I have left my job. I don't have this revenue stream that I am satisfied with yet, but I still have the same amount of money saved. Why? Because I worked some freelance projects. I was able to keep the money I saved at the beginning. Uh, it's the same amount now after
Yeah.
7 months.
So
So
you're
my
still
freelance covered
finding,
mine.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're
Yeah,
still finding ways to, even if you're, because you're at an early stage with your startup, you're not yet getting this income from it. So what you're doing is you're keeping an income stream in order to have your own safety net and your own savings by doing like
exactly,
freelance projects, which is something really, really simple, guys. If you have a skill, one or just one type, any type of skill, really, and you can target anyone like in your neighborhood in online or whatever, and you can get started with anything to get you more income in order to sustain what you're trying to do in the long run. So this is exactly what Chris is doing as well. Now,
exactly.
Chris, we on my channel we usually talk online businesses. Now, your business is not especially specifically online, but I really wanted to point out how someone can go from 9 to 5 to and as a civil engineer, and this is like really a high rank job. And how someone can go from can leave his civil engineering company to start his own business. Chris, I'm sure that you have taken some courses online, right? Because in order to help out with your journey as a startup founder. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of added value. There are a lot of added value online and through the books. I read a lot of books I didn't used to read, like I said. I took a lot of online courses, and honestly, I realized that these courses have a lot more value than the universities.
Yeah,
One course on Udemy is like 3 courses in the university, you know. Of course, there are other stuff, other courses online. You see the ads on Facebook. Very great. They have a lot of added value.
yeah.
And
Because these courses they are made in a way by not by academic institutions. They're made by people who have got results for themselves. They're made in a practical way to help you get the same results, or at least not fall in the same mistakes like they did. And that's why they're very, very beneficial.
yeah, exactly. But you have to watch out for these scammers because
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are a lot of them. There are some people who give precious value if you want. You have just to do your research about the person who
exactly.
is giving you that course. Look at his net worth, look at his businesses, how is he doing?
Look at
Is his business
other
actually the
people.
courses only
Yeah, other people taking the course also. You can check
as well? Yeah,
who's taken these courses, like student testimonials and all that. But be careful not to. Yeah, if someone's scamming you, then they have paid for people to give them testimonials. That's how simple it is. But you can
yeah,
find out by digging a little bit deeper. And finding out what these people did for themselves, how this course gave them value, and is the value of the course worth the price that you're paying for. We find lots of courses online, and it's become really because of how people can leverage the internet, how easy it is to leverage the internet. Uh, Anyone can create a course, right? So what you need to do is to find the person who has got results for himself before paying for their course. If they got result in something, then of course the value that you will be getting from their course is going to be much worth the price you will pay. So and yeah, we should always be careful of people spamming all over the internet. uh, Chris, I want to ask you just one last question. I'm sure all of our viewers have this question in mind, especially at this time. So at the time of recording this, we're in the middle of the coronavirus lockdown worldwide, and this pandemic has had a like very negative effects and some positive effects on different businesses. But for you personally, how has this affected you and your business, and what are you doing to handle this?
okay. My business model was business to business, and right now all businesses are closed.
Yeah,
I cannot do anything. So what I had to do is build up the trust, build my brand. So I decided to uh, build my Facebook page. I already had a Facebook page, but with no content and no followers. So I decided to start putting myself in the image, start recording videos, placing them online,
exactly.
teaching people additional value that they are looking for and that they don't know, so people can trust me. There are a lot of problems in this solid waste crisis, and the biggest problem is lack of trust. So I had to fix this issue. If people can trust me, if I can build their trust right now, in the future it will be very easy to get them as clients. And
Exactly.
even the businesses will trust me and not trust other companies.
Exactly,
I
because
want to show
businesses are
them.
run by other people, right? So if these people they
Exactly,
trust you and your brand, they're gonna buy from you.
exactly. So that's what I decided to do. I started recording videos. I am not this person who is comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah,
So
it's
this is
fine.
one step forward. This is
Yeah.
a step forward. I got out of my comfort zone. I did something new.
So that's how you're taking advantage of the coronavirus quarantine. And I've
Exactly.
posted a
I
video.
didn't have this time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't have this time to record. Now I have all the time in the world. So yeah,
And that's really great, especially because I talk a lot here on Incometea. I talk a lot about how important it is to establish trust and build relationships with your audience. Now, no matter what audience you have, people who are interested in your brand are your audience, right? And if you create, establish yourself as an authority, establish trust, create a relationship, and have people relate and connect to you on a brand level, then it's very, very easy to just sell them whenever you have good quality offers and products or services, which is your case. And I also talk a lot about how important it is to be creating video content, because it's very easy for people to connect with other people through video, because you have all these different languages that are coming into play in just one piece of content, which is the body language, your voice tonality, your uh, and also the words you're speaking. So all these three come into play in one piece of content. This makes it very, very much easier for people to connect. So I think every brand, every type of business should be using video and should have someone, if not the CEO and founder like yourself, as the image of this brand. And you're doing a great job so far. I'm watching, I'm seeing your videos. I'm gonna also link to your page to just show people how you're running this, how you're starting to create this content for your audience.
great
So
man. Thanks. I have
so
yeah, I have something to add. You asked about this online business and about maybe scaling up my business. Online business is very important, and the only problem I can see with mine is that it is not online. So I'm trying to work out how can I expand my services to be online. I'm currently working on that, and hopefully we can find something out.
yeah,
Because yeah, online businesses can make much more if you want revenue and profits.
because it's
If you
scalable.
want to talk about this, exactly, it's scalable. You can reach 1 million people very easily. You can sell
Yeah,
1 million people $1, and you can become a millionaire.
yeah,
It's that
exactly.
easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
if you are in your country or whatever. Um, in Lebanon, for example, we have 6 million people, around 6 million. To reach these 6 million with a service that's on the ground and not online, it's
It's really
very
hard,
difficult.
of course. That's what
It's
you're
really,
doing. You're creating this video content that you can share online, so that you can market your brand using social media. This is how you're taking your offline business, you're taking it online for marketing. So
yeah,
that's the least that any person who's running any type of business can do. That's the least that people should do, and you're doing far greater job than most people I see. Chris, thank you for your time. I'm sure many of our viewers have many more questions, and so I'm gonna leave a link under this video wherever I'm sharing this. I'm gonna leave a link to your pages so that people can check you out. They can check out your business, your startup, and if they have any questions for you, they can go ahead and ask you. So thanks for your time again, and I hope to see you next time.
thank you, Tar. Just want to thank you about everything, and it was a pleasure for me to be on a phone call with you.
Thanks, man. See you. So if you enjoyed this interview I was having with Chris, I'd really like it if you like this video as well. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now I'm gonna leave a link to Chris's Facebook page, his business page, his Facebook profile, so you can just follow him there. And I'm also gonna leave a link to my private Facebook group, which Chris is a part of. And inside this group, you can really network with people and watch all of the videos we're sharing here on Incometea in order to get more value and help you out in starting your own online business. So make sure you check that as well, and I'll see you inside.